All right. You guys ready? All right. Good morning. Good morning. We're going to begin. Welcome to the December 9th meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals. I'm Helen Schiller, the acting chair of the ZBA. It's time to establish a quorum. Commissioner Gianni.
Present.
Commissioner Hobbs. Present. Commissioner Soto.
Present.
Commissioner Staley. Here. I'm here. Let's proceed. I move to approve the minutes from last month's meeting. Commissioner Soto seconds. Commissioner Gianni.
Yes.
Commissioner Hobbs. Yes. Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter passes. I move to approve the agenda for this meeting. Commissioner Soto seconds. Commissioner Gianni.
Yes.
Commissioner Hobbs.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
I vote yes, that matter passes. Now we'll take the continuances and withdrawals.
Good morning, Samantha Nunez, attorney with Coke Charles Duarte and Barris on behalf of applicant Baratella Capital Group. We are requesting a continuance to the February
What's the address?
2300 West Taylor Street. It's on page 8. 40725
Okay.
So we're requesting a continuance for the February 9 a.m. meeting. They still haven't been able to schedule a meeting with the alderman due to the budget going on.
Okay, so we will move that matter to we'll continue it to February 20th, the 8 a.m. call.
Great.
And
Thank
the
9 a.m.
9 a.m. call, what did I say?
you.
Oh. Sorry. The 9 a.m. call, and there'll be no further notice.
Great, thank you.
Is there anybody here for that matter in objection?
No, oh, no, I don't object. I'm okay with that.
Okay, so February.
February 20th?
Yes, 9 a.m.
Okay.
Make sure that you re-register online before the deadline for the February hearing. Okay,
Yeah.
and then the room will probably be in city council chambers, but the room will be listed on the website.
I have a question. Does that mean that we can, we already filed online?
You can
So
submit
can we
additional
file something brand
exhibits.
new again, or does the
Yes,
first
you-
one
you
still
can
count
submit-
for? Does one cancel out the other as well?
No,
No, you can, if you have the same information, just resubmit it, but if there's additional information that you want to provide, you can submit that along with your new
Got
submission.
it, okay.
Okay?
Victor, can we be clear that they need to resubmit for the next meeting or no?
Yes.
Okay, you do need to resubmit. I wasn't clear.
Yeah, just make sure you, by the deadline for the February meeting, that
Okay,
you resubmit your objections.
okay, by 9 a.m. the first Tuesday.
Correct.
before. Okay,
Correct.
thank you.
Okay.
Chairman, Nick Fatigue is here on behalf of the applicant. It's page 5. It's 5 matters in a row, 51125S, 51225Z, 51325Z, 51425Z, and 51525Z, 1730 West Belmont. We are seeking continuance for actually a few reasons. One, we know that there are objectors in the file, a petition, we received that earlier this week, so we want to digest that and also reach out to the neighbors. But also, Mr. O'Brien, as I think everybody knows, he had a medical procedure last month. He has a follow-up appointment. He's not available specifically today. So I'm not in a position to move forward without the objector case without my witness. So if we could, on this one, if there's a chance that we can have a 1-month continuance to take it there.
Apparently not.
Okay.
So it's a February 20th AM call. Okay, again, no further notice will be given.
Victor's at 9 or
9.
9, yes, sorry.
For all those who are in objection again, the new hearing date is February 20th,
9 a.m.
9 a.m. Please make sure you re-register on the website with your objections as interested parties if you're an interested party.
Did you grant that?
Yes.
Excuse me, I'm Dan Stafford and I'm an objector
Mhm,
and here I am, I'm just a neighbor
mhm.
and I get to take another day off work for this. You know, they are paid to be here. I am not. So I object to the continuance. Let's hear what their case is.
Well, I think that because they're not able to, for a very good reason, have their expert here, we're gonna go ahead and grant the continuation. I'm sorry, and I understand your issue. But I think that otherwise we really wouldn't be able to get everything on the record that we need to. So we're gonna go ahead and continue it to the February 20th, 8 a.m. call, 9 a.m. call. And are you one of the interested party objectors?
I am.
So if you have additional information you'd like to submit prior, as well as your current information that you did submit, please do so prior to the next meeting. But
So you're saying I have to resubmit everything I did already?
you can do it online.
I have to resubmit, or
Yes.
what I already submitted is already sufficient?
You should resubmit what you have. And if you have additional information, this is your opportunity to do that. And what the attorney said was that they're going to attempt to address in advance some of the issues that are in the petition, so you may want to pay attention to that as well.
Thank you. I also have one other matter on the previous page, page 4, middle of the page, 50825Z. The subject property is 1930 South Des Plaines. We found out that there's an additional variation required, so we do have to file a companion variation and renotice. We can make the February date work. We actually are intending to file the application today, so notice will go out. So if we could have a February date, that would be much appreciated.
Yeah, that will be continued to February 20th, again, the 9 a.m. call, and again, no further notice will be given.
Thank you very much.
My apologies, I had one additional matter to request a continuation
Sure.
on. It was for 40825Z.
Well, I'm sorry, what page is it?
Page 9. As of 2300 West Lewis Street.
That's the one that we granted.
It was for, the one that was granted was 40725Z. There are two matters for the same time.
Oh, they're,
Okay.
yeah, you said.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
I'm sorry, yeah.
Thank you. Richard Toth, attorney on behalf of the applicant, for the matter at page 8. It's the first continuance. It's 281-25-S for 3473 North Clark Street. We're going to ask to withdraw that matter, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, Victor.
Okay, and for as much as we'd like to see everyone's lovely faces in here, because we have limited space, if your case that you're here for has been withdrawn or continued, if we could ask you to step into the hallway, you're more than welcome to watch a live stream in 1006C. Or you can just come back on the other day, but we need some extra room for people that are still having cases here today. First case, 49325S, 4041 North Milwaukee Avenue. Which was the right number? Steve, the person, the one for making the recommendation, 64 was correct. 64. Okay, thanks. Chairman, we have one more continuance request on behalf of Alderman Lospada.
Okay,
It's case 520-25-B. The applicant agrees to it.
Page 6. For 2471 North Milwaukee.
right, okay, so that one will be continued to the February 20th, 9 a.m. call, and no further notice will be given. All right. Is the applicant here?
I am.
Oh, okay. Are you, okay, have a seat. And you're pro se?
Kelly.
Are you pro se? Are you
Yeah,
doing this
yeah.
yourself? I'm sorry. Okay. It's
Okay.
okay. So the first thing is, could you raise your right hand? Do you swear, do you attest that the matter is that you will be truthful in this hearing? And also, can you attest that the matters, I mean, that the application as filed continues to be true and correct? Yep. Okay, thank you. And this is, can you give your name and address for the? for the
Yeah,
record?
Kelly Weffenstedt, from Wildlight Yoga, 4041 North Milwaukee.
And, okay, I'll do that next. So is there, this is a body massage service. Do you have, do you have all the credentials that are required for providing the service?
I would hire licensed providers to do that, yes.
And are
I am
there,
not a massage
I got you,
therapist.
but this is gonna be your business and you'll
Yes.
be hiring people to perform. Any other questions? So not hearing any, I forgot to just make this mention at the beginning of the meeting, so hold on one second. I want to note that we're going to continue the change and procedures that we tried out at our last meeting in November. We're going to take a vote at the end of hearings of each applicant's case or cases unless a board member requests deliberation, in which case we'll take the matter under advisement. So in this case, I'm going to make a motion to approve Commissioner Soto seconds, Commissioner Gianni, Commissioner Hobbs. Yes. Commissioner Staley,
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter passes. You're done.
Next case, 49425Z, 1814 West 59th Street.
Yes. Good morning.
Morning.
There are several members of the board. My name is Stu Weiss. I'm from the firm of Elrod and Friedman. Today I have with me my associate, Hannah Syed. She actually did all the work on this, so if you have a difficult question, I'm going to be looking.
Is the applicant here?
Yes, the applicant is here. The applicant is Growing Home.
Can you?
Yes.
Join us, I'm curious.
So today from the applicant, we have Janelle St. John, Executive Director of Growing Home. We also have Jamin Nolish, Project Architect from Urban Works, and Jeff Zogby, who's Project Coordinator. of
Okay,
PMA.
so okay, so can I have all the witnesses, please, and the applicant, raise your hand, right hand? And do you swear that the testimony before us today will be true and correct? Yes. And for the, oh, this is not a special use. Perfect, okay. So can you just give us a quick overview?
Yes, so Growing Home is a nonprofit that does workforce training through an urban farm. It maintains the largest urban farm in the city of Chicago. It has been located in the Englewood neighborhood since 2006, where it currently has 1.7 acres under cultivation. The reason we are coming here today is because Growing Home has acquired this property, which has approximately 77,000 feet. It's about half a square block that backs up to what will become the Englewood line. This is going to be the site of Growing Home's new campus. What this will allow Growing Home to have is 2 new buildings that will include both classroom spaces, a new food processing area, a retail cafe, and also offices for the workforce training. As well as that, there will be additional areas that are now going to be under cultivation, including a food orchard and 2 large hoop houses and 1 smaller hoop house. The area is zone C21. The variation that we're seeking today is to allow for the provision of 21 parking spaces, where under the zoning ordinance, 26 off-street parking spaces would be required. The property is located in an area that has ample street parking. Although it is not designated as a transit served location, it is about 200 feet away from where that little bubble extends, and it is less than a quarter of a mile away from the Ashland bus. Most of the, many of the employees use public transit, and all of the trainees, I'd say the majority of them use public transit and are provided with free transit passes as a way to getting to and from the site. We believe that we've met the standards for variation. This is we are trying to bring a vacant parcel that's been vacant for probably about 40 years. It was a former Jewel site, to revitalize a portion of Englewood that has been disinvested. And every square foot of this that we can use to serve the community or to cultivate food, all of which goes to the Chicago Food Depository or to local residents, is better off than having just a little bit of extra parking, which may go unused.
Okay. I just have one question. When I was alderman, I actually spent some time interacting with the organization shortly after it was initially started, because we were very interested in what you were doing and especially looking at how that could be done as well in other parts of the city. So I remember that site well. Is that going to be continued, or are you moving everything to this
Oh,
site?
no, that site we grow on. The
okay.
current building will be used as what we call a training facility for other small farmers, because there's not really a standard on food safety, so Growing Home is opting to service that. So there's a consistent standard of processing food, and we've been one of the ones doing it for the longest time, so we can offer that to small rate.
I was hopeful that would be the answer. Any other questions?
No, just that I'm also familiar with Growing Home and they'll do incredible
Yeah,
work, so thank you for your
Thank
service. to the
Thank
city.
you.
All right, well, that being the case, I make a motion to pass. Commissioner Janney?
Yes.
Commissioner House? Oh, I need Commissioner Soto seconds, thank you. Commissioner, one more time, Commissioner Janney?
Yes.
Commissioner House?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Soto?
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter passed.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Next case. 495, 496, 497, 498, 25Z. 3651 North Wilton.
Council, I'm gonna start with the. Can you tell me your number? Are you all there? Okay. With the applicant and witnesses, raise your right hand. Do you attest that your testimony today will be true and will be true?
Yes.
And Council, can you introduce your witnesses and the applicant and then give us a really quick overview?
Madam Chair, Commissioners, good morning. My name is Agnes Piper. I'm an attorney for the applicant. And I have with me today Chris Stankiewicz on behalf of the applicant LLC, and I also have Mario Cruz, the project architect. And very simply, I know it seems like we're asking for a lot of relief. We have multiple variations, but most of all, the most important thing is that this is a preservation project. We have a very unique lot, 50-foot lot on this block. This is the only 50-foot lot that is still just partially developed. About half of the lot is still vacant. So the applicant, this is RM5 district, so fairly high density.
What?
RM5 district, so fairly high density. So there is an option that the applicant could demolish the existing beautiful Greyhound. You can't quite see it because it's so overgrown. But believe me, it is a beautiful historic Grey House building, and the applicant, instead of demolishing it, proposes to save it. He believes that preserving Grey Houses promotes Chicago heritage, neighborhood heritage, and promotes sustainability. So all those variations have a goal of preserving that building. In order to maximize the site and to get some additional economic viability out of the parcel, we are proposing to do an addition, side and upper story addition. And that's why we need the variation for the site setbacks, because we have legal non-conforming conditions of the existing Grey House building. It's been built on the lot line. We do need variation for a little bit extra floor area so that the existing floor plans can be updated with a little bit more functional floor plans. We do have a reduction of parking because this is a truly DSL location. We have 500 feet to Red Line CTA station. We have 2 bus corridors. So we are reducing the parking from 15 to 5, which will be provided within the garage. We are relocating the rear yard open space. This is more of a technical variation than anything. The design actually envisions over 2,300 square feet of open space, usable open space via additional decks and balconies. So This is the essence of those variations. The applicant worked very intensely with Alderman's office. They actually picked the color of the brick for the addition. So it's been thoroughly vetted and we are hoping for your support.
I have, did you introduce everybody?
I hope I did.
Okay, I'm
Yes.
sorry, just, I have one question. In the materials that were introduced, there was specifically mention of, in the narrative, one of the narratives, that this development would allow for more affordability. I'm wondering what that means.
So it means that we have a combination of different units. There are some a little bit larger units, which are about 1,500 square feet, a little bit more family oriented, and these are probably the units that will have one of the parking spaces. But there are also smaller units, possible like studio units, right, 600 feet. So there is about right 650, about six. So there is a nice range and mix of different units, which allows for different price ranges so that everybody can take benefit of this wonderful location, walking distance to whose game?
Yeah, the cups.
Yeah.
Okay, but can you just be, I don't know what that means though, in terms of affordability. I know what it means in terms of size.
Right,
And I know that generally the rents will be lower for the smaller square
Right.
footage. But what makes it that some of the, I mean, it was in the narrative, that's why I'm asking.
right. It just means, so this is not an ARO required
No, I
project, so we're
understand, but
not.
you put it
providing-
in there, so you
Right.
put it in there either just to get us to like it, or you put it in there because it has some concrete meaning.
So
it-
again, when the applicant worked with the Alderman's office, the idea was to preserve the building because again, older units are
Right, no, I'm
just.
not questioning that.
No,
I'm
no,
just
I-
asking that since it was in there.
Right.
Can you tell us what that means?
Yes, it means that those units overall, because again, this is an older building, they're gonna be more reasonably priced than brand new construction, which would happen if he demolished the building and built brand new 15-unit new construction building.
So it's under the market for new construction. but
Correct.
Within the market for existing.
Correct.
Okay,
Correct, yes.
thank you.
So it's, I suppose, more naturally occurring affordability as
Okay.
opposed to.
Okay.
ARO
I just,
units.
well,
No,
I knew it
thank
was an
you.
ARO.
Thank
but
you.
I didn't know what that
I
meant.
appreciate the question.
Are there any other questions? Okay, hearing nothing further, then I will make a motion to pass. Commissioner Soto seconds, Commissioner Gianni,
Yes.
Commissioner Hobbs,
Yes.
Commissioner Staley,
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter passes.
Thank you so much and happy holidays and a wonderful, joyous year. See you again.
James, $499.25, that's 3601 West Grand.
This is just the one.
You wanna come around? Yeah. Easier for the public. All right, can I have the witnesses and the applicant please raise your right hand? Do you swear that the matter that all of your testimony before us will be true and correct?
Yes.
And for the applicant, and also, I'm sorry, and, do you swear, first of all, have you read the conditions?
Yes.
From the Department of Planning's letter of recommendation?
Yes.
Do you agree with those?
Yes.
Okay, and can I also have, I guess both the applicant and the witness, do you swear that any of your testimony today before us will be consistent with the application that's submitted?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning.
Council, good morning. Can you introduce your witnesses and the applicant for the court reporter?
What about that? I'm sorry, you're always just this pretty much.
My name is Paul Kolpak, Kolpak, office at 6767 North Milwaukee. Represent the applicant. And my left is the applicant, 100% shareholder of Raman Holdings Inc., the applicant. His name is Mahmood Abdul Rahman. And to my left is our expert witness, Mr. Kareem Musalir.
Thank you. Want to give us a quick.
The applicant is seeking a special use to allow the operation of a single lane drive-through facility located within a gas station convenience store at 3601 Grand Avenue, the Humboldt Park neighborhood. The L-shaped lot measures 40,820 feet and is bounded by Grand Avenue, North Central Park, and Monticello Avenue. Most of the perimeter enclosed by a 4-foot wrought iron fence. The site includes a 1-story, 3,643 square foot masonry building that houses the gas station, retail store, and restaurant. Additional features include an approximately 1,184,000 square feet of accessory storage building, formerly a car wash. Part of the negotiation was to close it and limited to storage. The parking spaces include 1 ADA compliance stall, 8 active fuel pumps, and 4 driveway access points, one of which was previously used as a drive-through exit. The requested special use reaffirms the previously approved drive-through facility ZBA number 481-04-S. The existing drive-through window and lane remain in place. Reinstating this use will improve the customer convenience and service without altering the property in question. And as you mentioned earlier, one of the concerns of the Alderman and planning was the fact that we have limited the use of the drive-through for food service, and we provided a menu so that we can't go up and order a.
It's only going
Port
to
of
be for the
oil.
restaurant.
It's only for the restaurant, but we've agreed.
Okay, are there any questions? All right, well, moving on. Therefore, I make a motion to,
So special use, yeah, should be. I think. Let's keep it this way.
okay, I'm sorry,
Do you want me to have Mr. Mussour testify as it stands?
I had him testify already.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, so I make a motion to pass, Commissioner Soto seconds, Commissioner Gianni.
Yes.
Commissioner Hobbs. Yes. Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter
Thank you very
passes.
much. Everybody be well and safe. Happy holidays. Definitely. And safety.
Next case, 525Z, 2245 West Race.
No, the one after the attorney got. Special traffic, there's an accident, so obviously, because of almost keep going into.
Sit in bed. Today. Yeah.
Oh, I know, yes, sure, it's like 50 and
Everything's ice. Okay, so before we begin, can I have of the applicant and the witnesses, please raise your right hand? Do you swear and attest that the matter, that all your testimony today will be true and correct?
Yes.
Thank you. And this is a okay, and what we'll get, what? Can you introduce the applicant and your witnesses and introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Ann Shaw. I'm the attorney for the applicants. We have the applicant here, Rachel Mahane and Adam Hip. They're also the owners of the property. We have architect Anisha Darwadkar here as well.
Good. And can I get the applicant to also now raise your hand one more time? And do you swear that the matter, that the application is submitted is still true and correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Well, this is an interesting situation. Just to make it so it's clear. So our, the owners, applied to do renovations in the interior of their property to increase the size as well as preserve the historic nature of this building. And when they applied, it was discovered that the garage, which is a two-car detached garage and bath, was not conforming, mainly for the reason being that it is a smaller lot. And so they're not able to get the permit to do the interior. There is no permit, and they're not seeking to do any renovations on the garage. And in fact, I would also, and I don't know if this is the appropriate time, like to supplement the record with additional photographs recently taken a couple weeks ago of the neighborhood as well as photos of the surrounding garages.
Can we do that?
It's up to any, what information.
Yeah, I think we can't do that. I mean, I don't know that
Oh.
it matters, but.
But we'll take into consideration. Thank you. So, going back to this, the applicants had purchased the home in 2014. The garage was already existing and, based on Google aerial photographs, that garage has been there since at least 2002. And, the applicants have no idea how it was built. They're not the first owners. And it's actually a very small request that we're asking for variance in order for them to proceed with the permitting to build, reconstruct the inside. If they're required to have to tear it down and build it, it's going to put an extreme financial hardship on them. They are not doing this for profit. They're literally, their family has grown and they need the state base interior. They had no idea about this until they went to apply. The garage conforms with basically a majority on that block of the garages in the neighborhood. So its existence isn't beyond the standards already in that neighborhood. Conversely, if they're required to tear it down, it will cause a lot of dust, waste, environmental issues, as well as inconvenience to the other homeowners in the areas in the neighborhood. So that, we are requesting that a variance be given to this garage so that they can go forward with the permitting process for their home, which they desperately.
Okay, so just to be clear, we're just talking about a building, a garage that was built many years before the purchase. That was built without a permit. And but we're not asking for any other variation. This will allow then for the receiving of the permits for the construction.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other questions? Okay, that's it. Then I'm going to move to pass. Commissioner Soto seconds, Commissioner Gianni.
Yes.
Commissioner Hobbs.
Yes.
Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter passes.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
do have one tiny little question. So the permit for the interior expires on January 15th. And the building department needs evidence of this passage, so.
Email us your building permit application
Okay.
and we could add the ZBA approval notes. And then we'll email it back to your architect. The architect can upload it back into Project Docs and then it'll go through the rest of the system.
And it'll be on the recommended video as well.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
so much. Have a safe and happy day.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Chair, the attorney for the next two cases isn't here yet, so we're gonna skip to 50325Z, 4500 South Rockwell.
What about, sorry.
He's got both of them.
He's
on
on me, yeah, so
it's not, but he's on your, so.
I assume you're the applicant? Yes. Okay, could you raise your right hand? You swear that your testimony before us today will be true and correct?
Yes.
And also, while you're here, do you swear that the material, the application as submitted is still true? and
Yes.
Correct. Okay, thank you. And well, let me just ask you to say your name, name and address for the record.
Andrea Patterson, 4500 South Rafa, Chicago.
Counselor, you're on.
Good morning. I'm Tom Pekarsky with law firm Gordon and Pekarsky. As you have heard, I'm joined by Andrea Patterson, who is the resident in Appleton, 500 South Rockwell. Before you this morning seeking variations for the property, the subject site is approximately 26 by 125 foot lot at the intersection of the property. This property is improved with a 2-unit residential building that is approximately 120 years of age. And Ms. Patterson occupies the upper unit, leases the bottom. Ground floor. The building was unusually constructed to sit at the rear of the property rather than its coming from. It sits both on its north side and rear property. This causes the need for the variations that are sought today. An addition was constructed sometime in the past to the front of the building, enclosing front stairs, creating a patio covered by a roof at grade and a 3rd floor base. While the additions are more than a decade old, the city cited the previous owners only within the last few years. Andrea purchased the property at the very end of 2024, subject to these outstanding issues, understanding she would need to correct them. She's here today to legalize these as-built features. She will also be replacing the existing exterior south side wooden stairs with iron stairs. The addition resulted in a reduction of the north side yard to 0 feet, rear yard to 16.5. As I have stated, the building already reduced both of these yards to 0 during its original construction. So there's no actual reduction of the yards beyond what has existed for 120 years. Ms. Patterson does not seek to expand the building in any way with this plan, only to correct previous work. Building is located at the rear of the property and aligned with garages of other properties on the block. So the as-built additions will have no impact on surrounding properties. Also, there are many 3rd floor dormers on the block, including the adjacent building to the south. So the additions are in character with the area. Because of the structure's unusual location at the rear of the property, no improvements to the 120-year-old building could be made without variations. And for these reasons, we ask your vote of approval for the requested side and rear yard. Thank you.
Any questions? Okay, well, I move to pass, I move to approve this matter. Commissioner Soto seconds, Commissioner Gianni,
Yes.
Commissioner Hobbs,
Yes.
Commissioner Staley, yes, Commissioner Soto. I vote yes, that passes.
Next 3 cases, 504-25Z, 505-25Z, 506-25Z, 111-31 South Maplewood.
Could I have all of the applicant and witnesses, please raise your right hand. Do you swear that your testimony today will be true and correct?
Yes.
And for the applicant, do you swear that the materials as the application is introduced is still true and correct?
Yes.
Yes.
You want to introduce, Councilor, you want to introduce your applicant and your applicant witnesses?
For the record, I'm Tom Pekarsky, the law firm of Gordon and Pekarsky. And in a twist of coincidence, for the second application in a row, I have an applicant, Andrea Patterson, with the south side property seeking variations. Joining Andy is his wife Katie. They are the owners and residents of 11131 South Main. And joining us as well is Brian Griffin. We're before you seeking a variety of variations for the property commonly known as 11131 South Maplewood Avenue. The property is a 30 by 125 foot lot that is improved with a 1-story single family home. Andy is the second generation of Pattersons to own them, having purchased in 2013 from his parents, who themselves purchased it in the 80s. The house has not been expanded since the time that Pattersons purchased them. Andy married Katie, and they are now looking to expand their family, one child on the way as they see, and the hope for several more. Not only has this home been owned by Pattersons for multiple generations, but Andy is a Chicago fireman with what residence requirements, so they would like to stay at the present location. In order to do so, they are proposing a second floor addition to the home. The addition will follow the footprint of the original, which currently sits in the required front and side yards. The addition will cause no decrease in any of these yards from what currently exists on the ground floor, on deck grade. Following the footprint of the existing home will also require a small increase in the permitted FAR. However, the aesthetic and functional reasons, it's logical to locate the addition on the existing wall line. The project also results in a decrease of the 20-foot diameter of rear yard open space. However, the project provides a 15-foot, 4-inch separation of rear yard between the previous rear addition and the garage. So it is more than acceptable space in the more than functional space. And similar to other properties. Our two adjoining neighbors provide front yards that are less than what's proposed today. Most of the houses on the block are 2 stories, and our neighbor directly adjacent to the north has a second floor double dormer. So the project is consistent with the existing neighborhood. And for these reasons, we request the approval of the variations to build a second floor addition at 111 Richmond South.
Questions? So, okay, well, I don't really have any questions either, except that I think I do just have to ask, we didn't get all the photos that were requested in the application, I don't think.
Okay.
It didn't seem like the application was entirely complete, although there aren't any questions that people have. I just thought I would ask to see if we could get an explanation.
I had was under the understanding that it was complete.
Okay.
I can supplement any additional photos.
Well, I know it doesn't seem that there are questions here, but I just thought I would ask you that question since that was pointed out to us. Are there any other questions that anyone has?
No, I would just say in reviewing the application too, I think I think they need to be a little bit more responsive to the questions that are being asked, but considering the testimony today was very important, I don't have any additional questions.
Okay. In which case, then I will make a motion to approve these applications, and Commissioner Soto seconds, Commissioner Gianni,
Yes.
Commissioner Hobbs,
Yes.
Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
I vote yes, the motion passes.
Yeah.
Next case, 50725S, 5230 North Lincoln.
Right, that's right, that's
It's what I
Where do we say we're?
We'll sort it out once everybody gets in.
Your case is in.
We all here? Okay. So before we begin, I just need to make a statement. So, as now that you've stated, I'd like to acknowledge that as Alderman of the 46th Ward, for 24 years, I've had numerous occasions to interact with the applicant, and I'm aware of their history and their experience and record in providing services to our cities unhoused. I further acknowledge that I've been supportive of their ongoing programs in the service through annual contributions. While I saw nothing in our ethics ordinance that would preclude my participation in this matter as a ZBA commissioner, and I have no doubt I can do so objectively, I double-checked with the executive director of the city's Board of Ethics, who has assured me that I would not be in violation of any ethics rules or regulations, and agreed with me that while not required for transparency's sake, I would make this acknowledgement on the record. So anyway, having said that, let's proceed. And I have all of the applicant and witnesses, raise your right hand. Do you swear that your participation in these proceedings today on this matter will be true and accurate?
Yes.
And for the applicant?
Do you wanna come sit?
Yeah.
Well, there's a.
Were there
That's
multiple
okay.
additional, oh, sorry.
It's all right. We can
I
sit with
didn't see it
chairs.
spinning back there, sorry.
And for
I
the
just saw them out of my
applicant,
line of vision.
can you raise your right hand and swear that the application as submitted is still true and correct?
Yes.
Yes. So Counselor, can you introduce yourself and also the applicant and witnesses?
Absolutely. Good morning. My name for the record is Katie Jenkey-Dale from the law firm of DLA Piper at 444 West Lake Street. We represent the applicant in this matter, Cornerstone Community Outreach. To my right is Andrew Winter with the applicant, address is 4628 North Clifton. Our other witnesses are Meredith Moore to my left with the Department of Housing, Sean McGuire with Gensler, the project architect, and Kimberly Howard with DFSS. That application is for a special use to establish a 64-bed transitional residence in an existing 2-story building that is owned and being renovated currently by the City of Chicago DOH. It was the subject of a special use that was approved in February 2024 with a different operator. And now that Cornerstone is coming in as a new operator, we are here for a new special use. We have many people here in support. They're not all going to speak, but we, at the board's discussion, they are here to wave their hand and confirm that they're here in support. We also received letters past the deadline to supplement our application from 40th Ward Alderperson Andre Vasquez, One North Side, Thresholds, Endeavor Health, Swedish Hospital, DOH and DFSS and Trilogy, all in support. I have those here today as well. I think that ZBA staff has received most of those and included them in the file. There's one item we wanted to correct on the record with, we worked with DPD staff after the letter of recommendation came out. There were 2 changes to the recommendation letter that we discussed with them. They were in support of that we wanted to clarify. I'm not sure the best way to do that. Fernando, do you want me to cover it?
That's correct. We have a revised basically rises the phrase to all business, another phrase for adults, from adults to persons. So it's a minor.
Is that the same or different from the one that I have?
It might be. I just wanted to point it out.
One nice. Correct.
To our revised recommendation.
It's the same. Okay, thank you. Yeah. And this is the one that you approved.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I won't go on about I think the obvious benefits to this application. And like I said, it's an existing special use that previously was confirmed to meet the standards for a special use. But we're all here for questions. And like I said, however the board would like to take the support into the record, I would defer to the chair. But thank you for your time and consideration.
Okay, so first, are there any questions? Any comments? Well, I don't think we need to do that. We'll acknowledge that there is numerous people here in support. And I'm gonna make a motion to pass. To approve this matter. And Commissioner Soto, seconds. Are there any objectors here? No one had signed in. Okay. Oh, yes. Is there anyone?
North Brookgate. 5230 North Brookgate.
You're gonna check, channel 6.
One other letter of support that I forgot to mention or missed was Chicago Funders Together to End Homelessness also provided us. Chicago Funders Together to End Homelessness also provided written.
Those will all be on the record because they're now on the testimony.
Thank you.
Okay, so, hearing that there's no objectors, or anyone for the public comment. I move, that we approve this matter and, Commissioner Soto seconds, Commissioner Gianni,
Yes.
Commissioner Hobbs.
Yes.
Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter passes.
Yep.
Thank you for it. Yes, thank you very much. Yes.
Yes. You have the whole thing.
Going back to page 2. Case 50125Z, 1737 North Sawyer.
Very differently, lunch and then be delivered to 11:45.
We got time to kill.
Alright, okay, I thought we'd make a record. Okay, let's make a record. Yeah, we're only on page. We're good at, we can use time, we can make up time, I guess it's that. Okay. This is 1737, right? Okay, morning. Okay, can I have the applicant and witness, or this is, raise your right hand. Do you swear that the matter, that all your testimony today will be true and correct?
Do.
And for the this is, what are we doing here? Okay. And for the applicant, do you swear that the application is submitted is still true and correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Would you like to introduce yourself and your witness and applicant?
Yes, Madam Chairman, members of the board, my name is Mark Kupiec, I represent the applicant. I have here with me the applicant, James Culver, one of the co-owners, right there, Jason Culver, one of the co-owners of the property. And next to him, the project architect, James Silvestro. Great. And properties improved with an existing building, an existing two-flat building. Jason and his wife lives in one of the units, the second floor unit, and a tenant in the first floor unit. Family is growing, and this is an old building, a short building with two small apartments. So they need more space for the family. Problem that's occurred elsewhere on the block, and other people have solved that problem by deconverting the two flat to a single family home. And that's something they do not want. They have the tenant, they want to keep the tenant wants the apartment. So their solution is with this height variation, to raise the roof in the attic a little bit, give them more living space up there. Got to raise the roof, so they got adequate ceiling height. Of course, if we do that, different computation for the height of the building. So that's the variation we're asking for, 10%, which you have the authority to grant. That would give them the extra living space they need for the family. They plan to continue to live in the building and have expanded space and keep it as a two flat, which is better for them, and I think better for the neighborhood. And with that, Jason is here. We submitted his documents and everything the same. And James Silvestro is here if you had any technical questions about the plans today.
Any questions? Neither do I. Okay, so I make a motion to pass. Commissioner Soto seconds, Commissioner Gianni.
Yes.
Commissioner Hobbs.
Yes.
Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto?
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Next case, 50225Z 5937 South Mayport.
Yeah. in here. Maybe in the other room.
Yeah. I'm sorry, they were standing outside.
So can I get the applicant and any witnesses to raise your right hand? Uh, do you swear that any testimony before us today will be true and correct?
Yes.
And the applicant, can you keep your hand raised? And do you attest that the application is submitted is still true and correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So Counselor, can you introduce all of your applicant and witnesses?
Madam Chairman, Mark Kubiak, representing the applicant. And we have the applicant with me, Antoinette Henry, who beside me, her son Vito. Actually, with
Full
Howard
name,
Attorney,
full name.
and Vito. Vida Humphreys. Vida Humphreys, okay, I keep mispronouncing his name. You thinking of that baseball player. No relation. Her son who's helping her with their rehab projects in the beautiful old building. And who else we have there?
My name is Sylvia Taylor. I'm a manager.
Okay,
Okay,
and there was another, excuse me, sir, you also raised your hand?
I am Oscar Alba, architect of record.
thank you, Esther. And it's a beautiful old gray stone building and they're doing a lot of work, spending a lot of money to rehab this building and fix some code violations. And it's an old building that had an old front porch. The old front porch that had to be replaced. Of course, it has to be replaced before the front building code standards. So it's roughly substantially in the same place, serving that same front door of this 100-year-old building, but slightly different than the old front porch. Doesn't meet the current setback requirements. So in order to replace that front porch, which we need for the front door, which is a required egress variation for the porch, and we're told to file it and file it. And they need this to get the building permit to finish the rehab project on this old building.
Any questions? All right, I make a motion to approve this application. Commissioner Soto seconds, Commissioner Gianni.
Yes.
Commissioner Hobbs.
Yes.
Commissioner Staley. Yes. Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next case, 50925Z 2823 South Short Street, page 4.
I looked it up. I've never seen this before. But I'm sure I've driven by it, it's like, where I used to drive. Shorts. Huh. Good morning. Can I get the applicant and witness to raise your right hand? Do you swear that your testimony today will be true and correct?
Yes.
True. And the applicant, do you swear that the application as submitted is still true and correct?
Yes.
Thank you. Would you like to introduce yourself and your folks here?
Perfect, thank you. Again, for the record, Nick Fatikas from the law offices of Sam Bates. I'm here on behalf of the applicants, Mark Sisip and Elizabeth Wilson. The applicants own the subject property at 2823 South Short Street. The subject property measures,
Wait,
20.
wait, introduce your.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mark Cisa, and our project architect, Peter Sturnier. The subject property measures 24.8 feet wide by only 116 feet deep, so it's about 9 feet shorter than a standard city lot. It's also depressed, meaning that the front of the home is actually, it's a little bit lower than grade level. And you can see that from the photos, not only of our property, but many of the neighboring properties on the block. The applicants purchased the property earlier this year and learned that the front porch that we're looking at right now was unfortunately installed without permits. So in order to bring the front porch into compliance, the applicants are seeking a variation to reduce the front setback from the required 11.71 feet to 6.42 feet. The home and the existing building and setback conditions will otherwise remain exactly as they are. It's after the fact compliance effort specific to the front porch. You've met our witnesses, and again, we'd be happy to answer any questions you or the board members have.
Just to confirm, there's no changes being made to the porch, it's just it's a pre-existing condition prior to the purchase.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Okay. Any questions? All right, I make a motion, to approve this matter. Commissioner Soto seconds, Commissioner Gianni,
Yes.
Commissioner Hobbs,
Yes.
Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
I vote yes. That passes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next case, 51025Z, 6730 North Francisco.
Okay, so can I have the applicant and witness, please raise your right hand. Do you testify that your anything you say today in the hearing will be true and correct?
Yes.
Accurate? And for the applicant, can you testify that the application is submitted is still true? And is yourself the record and also your witness in here.
Absolutely. So again, Nick Fatifas from the law offices of Sam Banks here for the record. On behalf of the applicant with me today is Mr. Michael Green, and our project architect, Mr. Raymond Lefebvre. The applicant and his wife own the subject property at 6730 North Francisco. The site measures 30 feet wide by about 121 feet deep, and it's improved with a 2-story single-family home and a detached garage. The applicants are proposing to construct a 2-story rear addition that would essentially square off the rear of their home. The issue is that although it's a wider than typical zoning lot, the existing footprint is non-conforming with respect to itself and combined side setback total. So in order to permit the addition so that it follows the existing building wall lines, variations are required. We have, again, both one of the applicants as well as the project architect available to answer any questions. And if I can ask if you can pull up the site plan, I think the site plan kind of shows there is a rear porch there today. But if you can go to the site plan, what we're essentially looking to do is a 2-story addition to replace in part that existing rear porch. So kind of add on to it. So it truly does follow the existing building wall lines and it does square off the rear of the building.
So in between, there's still the.
Green space
Yeah.
and the
what
yard
exists,
space. And that's the circle
the-
shown to the right
Gotcha.
of the garage.
Got it. Any other questions? All right, I make a motion to approve this application. Commissioner Soto seconds, Commissioner Gianni.
Yes.
Commissioner Hobbs.
Yes.
Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
I vote yes, and that is approved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next case, 51625S, bottom of page 5, 1138 West Belmont Avenue.
Yeah, because I like.
Looks like you can lose. Take that one seat.
Everyone is here tomorrow? Tom, I already called your case. 1138, Tom, Belmont, you're up. Tom, 1138 Belmont's up.
Okay, so this is a special case. All right, so can I have again, raise your right hand? Do you swear that your testimony today will be true and accurate?
Yes, I said,
And do you also testify that the application is submitted is still true and correct?
yes,
And you can put your hand down, but, so there is been approval, that from the recommendation of approval from the Department of Planning and Development. And would you like to introduce yourself? You really don't, this is pretty, just like, really brief.
This is Marna, President Cole. It's a very interesting lady.
Yes, that's it.
My name
Yes,
is
sir.
Tom Moore. And Marna is from Ukraine, and she's worked in different places in Europe, and she has a spa concept that she wants to bring to Chicago. And we've worked with the 44th Ward, and there were no objections. Everyone is enthusiastic that she's coming to share her knowledge and experience and what construction.
Any questions?
Just confirmation that anyone that you may hire will have all of the necessary certifications to.
yes, yes.
Thank you.
We can't work without that.
Thank you. No other questions.
Okay, I make a motion to approve this application. Commissioner Soto seconds, Commissioner Gianni,
Yes.
Commissioner Hobbs.
Yes.
Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
I vote yes. That's
Thanks.
approved. Yes.
Next case, 51725Z, 352 West Wisconsin.
You ready? Okay, can I have the applicant and witnesses please raise your right hand? Do you swear that any testimony today before us will be, truthful?
Yes. Yes.
And, for the applicant, do you, swear that do you attest that the application as submitted is still true and correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Can you introduce your witness and your applicant and yourself,
So
Counselor?
we have one witness. The other gentleman is a neighbor.
Okay,
And he has some concerns,
well, wait, okay.
so
Okay.
this is Dennis Yuratsky. Want me to talk about it?
No, I want to get everyone's name first, so,
Dennis Yudowski.
okay, and the witness,
Simon Dowdy.
okay, and you're a neighbor,
I'm the immediate neighbor on one side.
and did you submit any, personal interest?
I responded to a letter that we got from.
Okay, so we didn't have anything on
I was
the,
not made aware that I had to. We just got a postcard. And when we inquired,
okay, so I think what we're gonna do here to follow our rules is that we'll have the presentation and then we'll have you make your statement, which would be limited to 2 minutes, but to raise the concerns that you have
sure,
as part of the public comments, and then we can come back and okay, that worked for everybody. Counselor, can you give us a brief overview?
Yes, so Dennis Yuratsky and his wife have lived in the neighborhood for many years. They've been searching for 3 years to downsize from their current home. They found this house. This house is an 18-something house. It had a dirt floor, has never really been renovated. And so they hired architects, who are concerned about preservation and they have plans that would totally renovate the inside of the property, but preserve the outside of the property. We went through a community process. We had a letter of support from the local community group. We initially had letters of support from both neighbors on either side. The neighbor who is here has since raised some construction issues. We have his letter, which in the letter he has his construction issues. But they do not affect the requested variances. The variances basically relate to the other side of the building, the other side of the lot. That lady enthusiastically, again, we have her letter, enthusiastically supports this. And we have a community which had a hearing with him, and we have a letter of support from the community, and we have a letter of support from the alderman. They're going to improve the back. They're going to take away a lot of wood sidings all over the place and replace it with steel. They're gonna get rid of most of it and only have it on the one side away from the neighbor who was here. And it's going to allow to have a garden, some open space. Most of the buildings in the area, the neighbors have very complex obstructions from backyard. This will open up this backyard. Again, other than the construction issues that the neighbors raising, we're aware of no objections and everyone supports it.
Just for clarification, the only construction we're talking about is with regards to the garage?
Well, yes, it's a connection. And it's a connection underneath. There'll be a steel walkway to the existing garage roof deck. All the wood will be replaced with steel, and underneath it, there will be a connection.
Yeah. Okay, so if I'm gonna go straight to public comments. So sir, can you just again state your name and address?
Sure. Simon Davy, 350 West Wisconsin. I've lived there be 28 years in March. And previously had a very good relationship with the owner who was operating as a rental. And then we were very happy when Dennis came along and had bought the place because we knew that he was going to make it better. I have to say he has been a complete gentleman about the whole process, very inclusive, very collaborative. Nothing has been wrong. Noise is part of the deal. We knew that. However, I would like to correct what the gentleman here said about this not affecting the east side, because it does. What he's unfortunately glossed over is the bit that I have a problem with, and that is the east side. Could you put the very first picture up, please? Back one. One more, all the way to the beginning. That one, there you go. So you can see 350, that's mine. There are 4 houses that are identical, and ours was actually constructed a couple of years after all of those. And our house is longer. It is not the same design, not the same layout at all. We have a 6-foot gap about between house and garage, and there's some light comes in there. You can just see the outline of his garage. Their garages extend 4 feet further south than ours. They're proposing to rebuild our garage so that it goes entirely all the way to the lot line. This will take away more than half of the light that we get in that very, very small space. We would rather they didn't do this. That is going to be 12 foot high with the.
Okay.
It's going to be 12 foot high with the fence. and it's going to close us in. And we don't understand why they need to do this,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it is their right.
Your time.
I can only ask, given that there's a variance on the breezeway, can we not do this?
So your time.
I wasn't given an opportunity to respond by letter. I wasn't told that I was, that I.
Yeah, so the.
It's his characterization that
Let me.
my
explain
letter
that.
of support was entirely, it was withholding
Excuse me,
judgment.
sir. I appreciate that. The rules are that we really have to have the testimony, especially from, you would have had an opportunity to go back and forth had you been able to submitted what's called a person, an interested person notice to us 72, to the department 72 hours in advance. But since that wasn't there, you have the opportunity to participate in the public portion of it. And I appreciate what you're saying, and obviously you have a real interest. And what we're now going to do is go back to the applicant and his attorney and also see if there are other questions from the board. So yeah. So did you want to respond?
Briefly, the witness's letter, which I would submit in rebuttal, says that he has no objection to the.
That's the first letter, not the second one.
Let him finish, and we understand that. We've heard your testimony, and we know that whatever is there, this is currently what your issue is.
Yeah.
Okay.
And his issue is, an as of right, the garage, the existing garage can be expanded lot line to lot line as of right. It does not take a variance. His objection is to an as of right. The variances relate to the other side, which is opposite his property. It's true that there is a little gangway there now that will be closed off, but the right to have a lot line to lot line garage is as of right. It does not require a variance. We're not asking for a variance for it. The variances we are requesting relate to the walkway on the other side of the property.
No, I understand. Jude, some questions?
No, I was just going to say, the only thing that we're allowed to consider as a zoning board is what's before us, and it sounds like it's the variation for the breezeway that we are able to deliberate on. So the objection that I think that this gentleman is expressing is outside the purview of what we're able to address and within the right. So while we do understand your objection and your concern, it's not within the subject of, I think this concern is not within the purview of what we are allowed to.
May I?
Unfortunately, you're not. I'm sorry, sir.
Because it says here 2 foot east and west setback.
Right, but the concern about the height is not within the purview of this.
It's still a setback. Why was it built the way it was built then?
It was, I'm sorry, we can't do the back and forth.
Yeah, there's very specific rules that we have to follow as a quasi judicial board that.
So who was supposed to tell me that I should have?
No, we're not gonna do this back and forth. We're just not
If you
gonna
have
do
questions
this.
for the department, you can ask after, but unfortunately,
Yeah.
we're not allowed to consider it.
I do have a question though for the applicant, which is that, your neighbors and you're gonna have to get along. So this isn't within our purview, but it's I'm curious. If this is something that in terms of, I have no idea if there's any way to address some of these issues, although certainly there are in terms of the construction and any impact that there might be. So I guess what I'm really asking is, or hoping for, is that you have the line of communication as you go forward to be
Yeah,
able
I
to make
think
sure.
we had already a couple of meetings. Actually, maybe a week ago, we stood in the backyard of Simon's and just looking at what possibilities of maybe cutting some corners. I mean, we couldn't do anything for this application, obviously, but I promise that together with the architect, if or when we get the approval, we'll get together and understand what are the possibilities of doing this construction. I mean, this is obviously kind of personal view, and Simon believes that it constrains light. I don't think so personally. That there are other things that obstruct the light in there, but
But you're committing.
So
to-
these are
yeah,
the-
The board to work with him as best you can.
Yeah, I did, it's in his.
I've done it a couple
I
of
just
times
wanted to-
before, Simon still prefer to come here.
So I just wanted to reiterate that per our mandate, we follow very specific regulations and requirements of the zoning ordinance with vis-a-vis the applications and the extent to which the applications are asking for a variation that falls within those guidelines, and those things that are of right are not really issues that we can adjust. So if there's any other need for consideration, then I actually move for approval, and Commissioner Soto seconds, Commissioner Gianni,
Yes.
Commissioner Hobbs. Yes. Commissioner Staley. Yes. Commissioner Soto, and I vote.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate it.
No.
And I think that the staff from the Department of Zoning and from the ZBA can both clarify the issues. So you can understand exactly what we mean when we're talking about by right. So you could understand more clearly what our constraints are and why we took the position that we did.
I'm sorry, I don't want to hold you up, but who can explain to me about this east-west? Who can I talk to about that? Because that's the issue.
Yeah, it's the staff from
That
the,
would probably be something you would need to talk with their architect about, because the department's not gonna
He's not my.
explain their project.
it's in the
The
zoning.
city wouldn't explain it to you. You would have to talk to them and their architect in regards to the setbacks.
Okay.
So we would not be able to get involved.
Thank you for being patient with me.
Course.
Next two cases, 518-25S, 519-25S, 540 South, 5450 South Arch.
Never.
Okay. Are you both the witness? Are you both witnesses?
Sometimes she has trouble with language, so she brought her son to help translate if necessary.
Okay, so can I have, let's begin with the son's name and address,
Right.
or identify yourself
All right, yeah,
and your relationship to the applicant.
Christian Zavala, she's my mother, and my address is 3731 West 59th Street.
And before we proceed, can I have you raise your right hand? And what is the language you're gonna be translating?
Spanish, yeah.
Spanish to English and English to Spanish. Okay, and do you attest that the translation from English to Spanish and Spanish to English will be accurate and true?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Correct? Yes. Okay, and so now I need to have the applicant raise your right hand.
Okay.
And do you attest that your testimony today will be accurate and true?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And can we have your name as well?
Alejandra Prieto.
Thank you. Okay, Counselor.
So Alexandra, we're before you for, my name for
That's
the
right.
record is Tom Moore. We're before you for two things. Alexandra's passion is cosmetic microblading. But she also is a cosmetologist and can do nails as well. So we have both a request for special use for personal services, that is the nails and hair, but also for the microblading. She wants to, and she eventually would have a chair or two to do the hair and the nails. But she wants to start out doing that until she can establish the microblading.
Okay,
And
so I have here, I have a recommendation for approval by the Department of Planning without any conditions for the nail salon. and which I'll enter into the record. And I also have a recommendation from the Department of Planning for the, to establish a body arts services establishment, but that's with conditions. Have you had an opportunity to read these conditions, and do you agree with doing them?
That's the letter I sent you.
Did you understand? Okay, so the answer is yes. Okay, thank you. And that will become part of the record.
And so, that's basically it. She's, experienced, has done this in,
You got it.
various cities. She lives here now. She'd like to.
And you want to ask your question? Yes.
If you hire any staff, will you affirm that any staff members will have the necessary licenses and certifications to do the services offered?
Yes, thank you. Okay, any other questions? Seeing none, I would make a motion to approve these applications. Commissioner Soto seconds, Commissioner Gianni,
Yes.
Commissioner Hobbs. Yes. Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matters pass.
Thank
you. Or
Happy holidays.
are approved.
Thank you very much.
You too.
Not saying this is excessive, but the next 10 cases. 521, 25, and 530, 25, 2000 South Clark.
Yeah, they really don't. And there are objectors, correct?
No.
No? Oh, just the particular. No? I had something on my
No,
notes.
Kimball is the one that had.
Okay. Okay. No objectors but 3 cases. Okay. Can I have the applicant and witnesses raise your right hand? Do you swear that your testimony today will be true and correct? Okay. Yes, the answer is yes, and are there, how many of these are special uses? A few. Okay, I got it. Will the, for the, let me see. For the applicant, can you raise your hand, right hand? Do you also attest that all of, the application as submitted continues to be true and correct? Yes. Okay. And, okay, so let's, why don't we do an overview and then we'll get into the special uses, but, you know, do what we have to do. But this is too much.
Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Oh, and can you also, I'm sorry, introduce yourself for the record, but also all of the witnesses that you have to, thank you.
Thank you. For the record, my name is Tyler Manick. I'm an attorney with Shane Banks, Kenyon Schwartz. To my right is John Hina, the project architect. My left, immediate left is Sharon Long, the manager of the project. And to my further left is Liam Ryan, our MIA appraiser.
Okay.
So I'm here today on behalf of Archer Clark Development LLC, the applicant for the variation special use permit request at 2000 South Clark. We're seeking the special use permits and variations to construct a 6-story, 45,837 square foot hotel with 102 rooms and a restaurant with a rooftop patio. So the rooftop patio and the hotel are the special use components. They're a special use in the C35 zoning district. The hotel and restaurant align with the core recommended strategies under the Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning's Chinatown vision to strengthen Chinatown's capacity to build out its tourism. And one way that CMAP noted to leverage Chinatown's tourism is building hotels in the area, which is what we're attempting to propose there. Into the surrounding businesses and bring substantial revenue and employment opportunities to the area. The subject property is also in transit served location a block away from the CTA Red Line station. You can see in that aerial, it's across the street, Red Line station, as well as along the Archer and Clark Street bus line corridors. The property is irregularly shaped with substandard lot depth and it has no alley access. In addition, you can see on the picture here, it's abuts railroad embankment. These lot characteristics create the hardships necessitating the variations that we're seeking. This lot has been vacant for over 10 years, so activating this lot is going to be a great purpose into the gateway to Chinatown. In 2014, City Council did, not under us, but under a prior owner, rezone this parcel to C3-5 with specific purpose to permit a hotel here. However, the land is still unimproved, but we're here to effectuate that City Council plan from 10 years or more ago. Prior to filing this application, Sharon and her team met with Alderwoman Lee and the Chinatown Chamber of Commerce. Is within our application, we have letters of support for both, who attest to the fact that this project is going to bring meaningful investment and benefits to the overall community. So that's my overview, and I'd be happy to answer any, or we would happy to answer any questions.
All right, any questions?
It's actually very,
Yeah, yeah. Maybe that's why it's so long. Or that, or somebody really liked to write.
Lawyer Bruce on it. This is.
Oh, if it wasn't in the architect. Okay, so hearing none and seeing that there is support from the chamber as well as from the alderman. And that the zoning change apparently intended for this to happen, which was originally, when did you say?
2014.
2014, so this has been a long time coming, but seems to be right. Okay, so seeing no other further questions, I make a motion to approve these multiple applications that are before us. Commissioner Soto seconds, Commissioner Gianni.
Yes.
Commissioner Hobbs. Yeah. Commissioner Staley. Yes. Commissioner Soto. I vote yes, all these minutes are approved.
okay.
All right. Yeah, you have additional something to celebrate.
Last three cases, 41825Z, 41925Z, 42025Z, 5800 North Kimball. And Chair, we have.
I just said before there's no other. I don't know, I'm sorry.
Page 9.
Oh, why can't you see this thing? Got it. Okay. Okay. Okay, still. It's early, but it feels late. All right, could I have the applicant and witnesses, please raise your right hand. Do you swear that your testimony today will be true and accurate? Okay. And do you, for the applicant, do you swear that the application as submitted is still true and correct? Okay, thank you. Counselor, can you introduce your folks here and of course yourself, but
Yes.
we'll do the overview.
So again, for the record, Nick Fatikas from the law offices of Sandbanks. I'm here on behalf of the applicant, Bias Yakov High School of Chicago Incorporated. The gentleman sitting next to me is Rabbi Yisrael Gluck. He is the president of the applicant entity, and then Jonathan Dress is our project architect. This is three companion variations. And if I can just have a little bit of an opportunity to provide an overview, and give a little bit of background regarding the community process, and then turn it over to questions from that. But again, the Bias Yakov High School and a non-for-profit, Illinois corporation owns the subject property at 5800 North Kimball in Chicago's North Park neighborhood. The applicant is, the site is improved with a 3-story school building and an accessory off-street surface parking lot. The applicant has operated its all-girls yeshiva at the subject property since 2015. The high school has been successful, and its student body has grown significantly over the last few years, so much so that the students have almost outgrown their space. In order to meet the growing demand, the applicant is proposing to construct a 3-story addition to the existing school building. The proposed addition will add 3 floors of approximately 10,100 square feet, a total of about 30,300 square feet to the school. And where the existing building measures 50 feet 6 inches in height, the proposed addition was designed with a flat roof that was measured 35 feet 4 inches in height. And that's a really important point because I'd ask the board to remember that a non-residential building in a residential district does not have a technical zoning height limitation. So where single-family homes are limited to 30 feet, in theory, up until planned development, you can go up to 79 feet. Now, in all, the addition is obviously extremely important to the school because it allows the school to increase the student population from about 200 girls today to about 300 girls, 310 girls going forward. The applicant's plan also maintains 30 on-site parking spaces, which meets the technical parking requirement for code. In order to permit the project, the applicant is seeking 3 companion variations. They are to increase the floor area for a non-residential use located in a residential zoning district from 0.65 to 1.41. And I would point out, I think it's it's 1.4 on the agenda, but the application, our notice requirement, and our hearing packet all reference the correct 1.41 ratio. We're also asking to reduce the rear setback from the required 37.49 feet to 24.37 feet, and then reduce the rear open space requirement from 3,033 square feet to 0. And again, the hardship in this case is designing a functional addition to an existing non-conforming, non-residential building located in a residential zoning district. I've introduced you to my witnesses. And I would like to point out, just before we close testimony, or the initial case in chief, the applicant and the team have worked closely with Alderman Samantha Nugent's office, as well as the Hollywood North Park Community Association on this proposal. Actually, a letter of support from HPNCA should already be on file, and it was included as an attachment to the letter, no objection from Alderman Nugent. After the HPNCA meeting, the community group meeting, the school hosted a smaller meeting with the alderman and several neighbors at the property, at the subject property to continue the discussion. And while not, I want to be clear on this too, while not directly related to the variation request, because again, schools are permitted and our application seeks to permit in addition, the applicant has made the following commitments to the community at large. First, our project plans include a dedicated trash enclosure at the rear of the property. It's a new trash enclosure. The applicant has agreed to schedule at least 3 weekly pickups, all during non-conflict times with city services. We know, and it was brought to our attention, that the trash has been an issue for the existing facility. The proposed expansion allows us to accommodate and improve that condition. The school has also increased its supervision of student drop-offs and pickups along Kimball and Ardmore. It will also specifically limit student access to the school at Kimball and Ardmore and will not allow student access to the school from the alley. 2 quick other points. One of the concerns that was raised involves or relates to the current outdoor lighting fixtures. We have provided the board as well as staff and the alderman's office with a photometrics plan showing that all exterior lighting will be downlit. And it helps reduce any kind of spillage onto the public alley or the neighboring residential properties. So again, this is intended to improve existing conditions regarding lighting. And then lastly, one of the concerns that we heard and we want to respond to publicly is there seemed to be some confusion about who the right person is to contact at the school when there is a problem or an issue. And although he's not with us today because he became a grandfather earlier this week, Rabbi Kardish, who's on the property every day, has offered to take responsibility for that position or that role going forward. Essentially, it's a school liaison to the neighbors, to the aldermen, and to the community organization. While we're certainly, unfortunately, not able to answer and address every concern that was raised, the school is committed to working with the aldermen, the local community group, and our immediate neighbors to make sure the school and the addition remain a success at the subject property. With that, again, happy to answer any questions you or the board members have about the proposal.
I just have one. So it looks like the existing outdoor space is primarily parking.
Almost entirely.
And
Yes.
so there, and that's where the school is going to do.
Yes, if you
The
could,
addition.
I'm sorry, I'm jumping
Go ahead.
ahead. I have to get better.
I do the same thing, so I appreciate it actually.
And I'd appreciate it more than anything.
Thank you.
So yes, the proposed addition is shown on the right half, surrounded by the landscaped area. That is those darker, black lines or what looks like almost scribbles. So that area right now is a surface parking lot. We're gonna build our addition on a significant portion of the parking lot, but also retain 13 parking spaces at the rear of the property and 17 parking spaces on that edge, the side.
Is there any outdoor currently or in the plans, either way, outdoor activities for the students?
Only in the parking lot, nothing dedicated or set.
So there's no physical activities that are organized?
Not
outside?
not on the outside.
Okay.
No.
And
They're not, they don't have it now either.
yeah, yeah.
Basically.
No, I was just wondering, I mean, just in terms of having an overview
Yep.
of what the outdoor activities are, that's what I wanted to know. And the only other question I have is what are the grades or age groups?
So
of
it's
the-
it's high school age and
9 to 12.
9 through 12. Thank you. Any other questions? If not, before we go to just.
I did have one point because I do know that landscaping is, maintaining landscaping is an important point for the board as well as for the applicant. We are providing over 2,600 square feet of new landscaping, replacing the portion at the front of the property along Kimball. The issue is with the rear setback reduction, we don't get credit for open space outside the rear setback. So it is a request, but it's also, we believe, offset by maintaining the landscaping that currently exists around the existing school and then adding in the points essentially on the right side, the darker tones on the right side of the plan.
I do actually have one question before we move over to the interested parties, since I think it will be an issue, so if I can get a baseline. From a pickup and drop off standpoint, the pickup and drop off is on the symbol or on the outside?
It's not, so one of the concerns is that students have used the alley. Now, we have obviously a rabbi who's gonna tell his students, we're not using the alley. We've also, as part of our design, have a door at the alley that would not be accessible to students. Students would have to come in at the front of the property on Kimball or at the corner, existing or current main entrance at our door, so away from the alley. That doesn't mean, again, teachers, staff wouldn't be able to access the building. But it's 13 parking spaces. It's not, 300 students coming in through the alley. And I did point it out, we're here because of variations. We understand that operations, which typically relate to special
Yes.
use, are a concern. We're doing our best to address both.
Right, thank you. Okay, so the interested parties, you're both interested parties, could, let me just start by having you raise your right hand and swear that your testimony before us today will be true and accurate. And can you we'll take you,
I'm sorry, there were interested parties. Should we just have the names of the individuals?
I'm getting there.
I just want to make sure.
I'm getting there. Why don't we just, right now, can you give us your name and address?
Rebecca Fry, 5825, Bernard.
Okay,
Kathy Seabaugh, 5825.
Okay, great. So, which one of you wants to go first? Okay, go for it. Which,
I just have a question.
this is Rebecca. Can you just identify your name so she has the right? person?
Fry,
Again, sorry.
because this is my first time appearing at this kind of a meeting. Have the commissioners read? Yes, we've received and yes, we've received them. I was just going to reread mine, so I will not do
Do you
that.
want to highlight your main points?
I believe the proposed project and the variances required will change the essential character of the neighborhood. The proposed addition is, footprint is about 10,000 square foot. The part we would be seeing from our backyard and from our, looking out our window to the east, is nearly 40 foot high. Currently, we get a lot of light, sun, and we're just gonna be seeing a brick wall very close to the alley, you know, very right across from our property. So I'd say most of the residences in the neighborhood are modest, low-rise homes. This addition, I consider it a behemoth building. No, I think it'll have detrimental impacts to our property values. He mentioned the light, the current light situation is horrendous. It shines, the lights that are on the south end of the building shine in all directions, including into our second floor home, our kitchen, illuminates most of the backyard. We can't really enjoy our backyard. If you look in that direction, we're just blinded by the lights. It's like you're at Wrigley Fields at night. I understand that they've said the new lighting will be downlit and controlled. I looked at the study that you did. I hope that you follow through with that because it really affects our quality of life currently. The other thing he mentioned was trash. I didn't include that in my comments because the design does show a trash compactor current garbage situation, and I'm wondering why they haven't done anything to remedy the current situation. Trash is overflowing all the time. The bins are open, overflowing. Rats and squirrels are taking their garbage out. A lot of it ends up in our backyard. If you know there's a problem, why don't you do something to fix it now? In addition to when the project goes through. And the congestion, I think is gonna be a big issue. There's an entrance to the parking lot from Kimball, and also I believe there's an entrance and exit along the alley, so. And with those 13 spaces right behind our house, we're worried about access, free access to our garage, which is on the alley. So essentially, I appreciate the opportunity to speak.
I guess so currently the garage, I mean, the current parking lot is closed to the alley currently?
Yes.
Okay. And the number of parking spaces on the alley are,
It's 13 proposed.
okay. And on the other side of the alley where the homes are, I wanted to ask you, there, I'm assuming there are garages for, on the other side of the alley. So the alley is used for parking similar to what that they're gonna use the alley for parking.
Yes, but there's not only the 13 spaces that they're proposing along the alley, there's also that parking lot to the south of the new addition that could be additional parking.
And the access you're saying is from the alley? It's also.
Yeah, sorry, to the north,
Wait,
to the north.
I'm trying to make a record.
Sorry.
You asked a question. South of the new addition that are going to be additional parking.
Change that, I meant north.
Okay.
Sorry.
Thank you. Could I?
So the question I had asked was if the housing that is on the other side of the alley from the school, is it typical that there are garages where people park and use the alley? Similar to this use of the alley. And I think what you said is that the difference, yes, but you were also concerned about access to the parking, the parking lot, what the additional parking that'll be left from the old parking lot.
Because there appears to be an entrance and exit to that parking lot, not just from Kimball, but from the alley.
Okay, so we can get a response on that
On
when
the
you're,
north side of the 13.
okay. And do you have any questions for the applicant? You're able to actually cross-examine the applicant as an interested party.
I appreciate the the steps you've taken to address the community concerns, but just, it's gonna really impact our property and our neighbors who didn't attend or submit comments. But yeah.
And so Kathy, did you have anything additional to add?
I would like to read.
Can you, okay, but is yours, is it the same? Are you,
Cause we have read. what
we've
you submitted.
read what's been submitted. You didn't submit this.
No, I wrote this after I went online and we went through all the accommodations that they did make
Okay.
after our November 17th.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
And if you could put the slide back up that showed the bird's eye view of the houses and yeah. So we're at 58.25 per month. So kind of see where we're coming from. I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak, and I also want to start out that on this variance issue, I know that the Hollywood North Park Community Association submitted a letter of support to Alderman Nugent's office, but I can guarantee you 100% that none of the people who voted to approve that were any of the people affected on the 5800 block of North Bernard. There are 5 houses, maybe 6 that are most dramatically impacted, and we're right in the middle of them. And every one of those people feel the way we do about the proposed variances. As a former journalist in the community of people with disabilities, LGBT community, and mainstream media, I've always had a lot of questions. When I ask questions and don't get answers, that creates a lot more questions. One of those questions we'll get to is trash, because Becky brought it up, and I will ask the applicants that question at the end of this. This is where we are today with the Bias Yakup High School requesting zoning variances that are literally in my backyard. I still have questions that are not been answered. The design for the school's expansion places 13 parking spots along the alley that runs behind my house. And at the end of those 13 parking spots, the design shows a 25-foot wide entrance exit to the school's 17-car parking lot. That's basically up behind maybe 5833 North Bernard. How is this not going to turn the alley into a thoroughfare for school traffic? At a follow-up meeting on November 17th at the high school, where school representatives and school supporters hosted neighbors, and most of the neighborhood attendees were residents of the 5800 block of North Bernard. I specifically asked about fencing and security cameras that were planned by the school. Time Magazine and the Anti-Defamation League, as well as many other news sources, reported dramatic increase in anti-Semitic incidents in the U.S. since October 2023. My questions: what sort of fencing is going to run around the school? What type and what number of security cameras are going to be placed on the property? And what will be the reach of the camera's sensitivity? This directly impacts the privacy of neighbors in the immediate area of the school. I want to ensure that I have time to talk about trash. I've lived in my home on North Bernard for 33 years. We never had rodent problems in my yard and garage until the temple became a school. For more than 2 years, I've been communicating with the Alderman's office to help get this resolved. I spoke with the driver of the garbage truck that picks up the garbage, and he told me that he has told the school they either needed more dumpsters or more frequent pickups. Nothing has changed. Why hasn't the school taken any steps to resolve the current garbage problem? I see they have a compactor in the new designs. Is nothing going to be done in the meantime? Why hasn't something already been done to resolve the overflowing garbage? And why would I have faith that you will ensure the new trash component of your design will take care of this problem? Finally, I want to address the approved criteria and review factors of the Zoning Board of Appeals, which I believe are directly related to these requested variances. In point, purpose and intent 17-1-0502, preserving the overall quality of life for residents and visitors. Granting these zoning variances would not preserve the overall quality of life for those of us most directly impacted on the 5800 block of North Bernard. Purpose and intent 17-1-0503, protecting the character of established residential neighborhoods. Granting these zoning variances would allow the building of a structure that makes the school a total of 71,000 square feet. That's equivalent to approximately 40 residential homes in our neighborhood. Or 24 duplex. 40, 40.
Okay.
Or 24 duplex. That size makes the school, and Becky stole my word, a mammoth structure in our residential community. That is not protecting the character of our established residential neighborhood. And the third, purpose and intent 17-1-0509, ensuring adequate light, air, privacy, and access to property. As I pointed out earlier, I'm concerned about privacy with security cameras, and I surely anticipate issues with access to property. That's based on the traffic going through the alley my neighbors and I already have witnessed, with parents dropping off and picking up students from the existing school population. With parking spots designed to be directly along the alley and an entrance into and out of the small parking lot, 17 parking spots in that park. We neighbors anticipate a tremendous increase in alley traffic, which directly impacts access to our properties. Lastly, I'm going to talk about approved criteria and review factors number 5 and 6. Number 5 states the granting of the variation will not be detrimental to the public welfare or injuries to other property or improvements in the neighborhood in which the property is located. Based on my personal experience with the school and its administration, not addressing rodent problems and light pollution, I fully suspect further injury to my property and the property of my nearest neighbors, and have no faith that those issues will be resolved. Number 6 states the proposed variation will not impair an adequate supply of light and air to adjacent property or substantially increase the congestion in public streets or increase the danger of fire or endanger the public safety, or substantially diminish or impair property values within the neighborhood. Granting these variances substantially increases the congestion on our neighborhood streets, and granting these variances would decrease the property values of our home that are directly behind the school's proposed expansion. I'll again point out that the Hollywood North Park Community Association submitting their letter of support, none of those people submitting a letter of support were residents between 5817 and 5900 North Bernard. I understand that members of the Hollywood North Park Community Association member or the Zoning Board of Appeals do not feel that sting of decreased property values like I do, but it is a fact and it stings. Thank you for your time and consideration. Thank you.
Thank you. Did you have a rebuttal?
I do, and I'm gonna try and limit this as best I can, to probably 3 or 4 highlight points. The use of the alley for accessing parking is consistent with residential uses for alleys in neighborhoods. We are not proposing anything different in the sense that people who use the alley are going to access the parking just like they would a garage on the other side of the alley. Regarding the separation, the impact of potential light and air, I want to remind the board that there is no height limitation for a building structure in the RS2 district when it's a non-residential building. The setback request would reduce the rear setback to 24.37 feet. So there's 24 feet of physical space between the rear of our building and our rear lot line. On top of that, there's a 16-foot public alley. So there is actually 40 feet, just over 40 feet of physical space between the rear of our proposed addition and the closest edge of the rear property line of all of our residential neighbors. Based on that, and based on the fact that we're at a 35-foot height for the proposed addition, we absolutely do not agree that an insufficient amount of light and air would be able to continue to reach the neighbors to the north of us. And I think pointing to the 3-story, 50-foot existing school is really evidence of that. It's lesser than what's already there today at the Hart corner. Regarding fencing and security, we did provide a detailed site plan with the trash enclosure and the fencing. That was a part of the submittal to the board. It shows the detail of that. While this is not a,
And I just, so the question was can you just say where the fencing goes around? Just
So the fencing goes around the perimeter of the site along Kimball. It follows through the far side of the property along our neighbor. And then you can see it indents so that the parking spaces are separated. Yep, so it's not up against the alley, it's inset so that, again, overnight we can control access into that, the side parking lot. And I think it's really important, a really important point regarding security and privacy. Just to cut to it, we're looking at having 300 high school age girls at the facility every day. Security is of an utmost importance. This isn't a special use, so we did not submit a full security plan. The existing building has security. It's going to be improved greatly to accommodate the expansion should it be allowed. That's one point that we're all in agreement on. Security and privacy are critical to the success of a high school for girls. And then regarding the, I think you got the adequate supply of light and air, the substantial increase of congestion in the streets. We respectfully disagree. The school is going to expand, the population is going to expand, but it's at a point consistent with other schools in the area. We did some research based on the documentation that was submitted that there are at least 5 schools within about a mile, 1.2 miles of the subject property. One of them is Solomon Elementary. It's also a residential RS2 zone property. And that has, according to its website, it has 338 students and 29 full-time employees. Again, that's in the middle of a residential neighborhood, just like our school is. Another example is Northside Learning Center High School at 3730 West Bryn Mawr. Hold on one second. Our student population is 266. Again, located in a residential 2 zoning district in the middle of a neighborhood. I have a few more examples. Please bear with me. We have, hold on one second. Jameson Elementary School, 5650 North Mozart, 861 students. And in the middle of a residential neighborhood. Now that is zoned R3, but a residential zoning district with a residential neighborhood. I use these to state that there's obviously demand for education in the neighborhood, in residential neighborhoods. That's why it's an appropriate use. We don't think that we're changing the character of the neighborhood by introducing a new use because the school is already there. We're trying to accommodate the demand for students who live in the neighborhood, who want the yeshiva education option and who are able to go to a school in their neighborhood and not leave the neighborhood to go somewhere else. I respectfully disagree that this addition is going to change the character of the neighborhood, especially because the school is a permitted use in a residential zone district. With that, I'm sorry, any other questions? I'm happy to answer.
I just had a quick clarifying question about the use of alleys for access to the parking lot. Is the alley currently being utilized at all with the current parking
No,
lot?
it's currently fenced and gated. There's no regular in and out. We thought it was an option to improve circulation on our property. Otherwise, you'd have 17 spaces on the right side of the screen stuck in that one parking lot, and with them coming and going, it was more of a functionality response to be able to provide that as an alternative to exit or access the property. It disperses the traffic to avoid creating a new issue.
And then can you clarify the hours of operations for the schools? Specifically, when is the typical like drop off and pickup time?
So we said between 7 and 8 o'clock in the morning is kind of the peak drop off, although some of that is staggered for upperclassmen. And then the end of the day is anywhere between 3:30 and 4:30, also staggered based on school on grades, but then there are extracurriculars that are offered, so it's not as if 300 people are coming to the property all at the same time in the morning, all within maybe a half an hour, 45 minutes, and then leaving. It's a little bit more scattered based on, again, individual curriculum, extracurriculars, and just whether or not, again, they're an upperclassman or a younger student.
And just for clarification, just because I just want to get a full picture, are the majority of the students being picked up and dropped off by parents, or because it's within the residential community?
It's a bit of a mix, and actually something that the yeshiva introduced within the last year was bus service. So we're actually trying to reduce the amount of students that are, that parents would have to drop off or pick up by offering that as another option. So together with a little bit more controlled and thought out pick up and drop off for the folks that do want to actually drop their kids off. And the bus option, and for some of the older students, the option to be able to park. We really think we're doing our best to address the parking component. But I'd remind the board too, that we meet our parking requirement. We're not asking for relief on parking. The plan that's being presented was code compliant with respect to parking.
So I have a few questions. I've actually experienced in other circumstances, especially issues with dropping up, picking up and dropping off, but usually my experience has been with younger students who are being dropped off who are younger, so I need to get a sense of this, so here are my questions. First of all, so currently, what percent of the students are driven to the school every day?
I think we said.
We just introduced this bus service this year.
No, but
Not even at the
yeah.
beginning of the year. And there are about 25% of the students using the bus. service.
I'm sorry, what percent?
25%.
Okay,
And we expect that to increase next year because it'll be introduced from the beginning of the year. And it's not, no, it's not very expensive. We're supplementing private, the parents are paying part. But a lot of people are using that. So we expect a greater percentage to use that service. Right now, it's about 50 kids coming to school with the bus.
okay, so the difference, the rest of the students of them,
That's the students that are-
how many, what percent would you say walk to school? What percent are driven and dropped off by the parents?
I don't know the percentages. A lot of the kids that are from Peterson Park,
Mhm.
Hollywood Park,
Mhm.
almost all those kids walk to school.
Mhm.
And I
You
can
can't-
tell you what the percent, and I
Yeah.
can't tell you right now, but I don't really know, because I know there's a lot of kids, I know, because I live in Hollywood Park and they walk by my
Yeah.
house. So I see them going to school.
Okay,
There's a pretty good. I would guess, I would say 10-15% that walk to school from the very close neighborhood.
okay, so,
The other ones, some are driving, they're really not allowed to drive to school before 12th grade.
so this, are any students allowed to come to the school and
Thank you.
After
do
12th
any of the students drive to the school? Are they not, can they park in the parking lot or no?
12th graders are allowed to
12th
drive.
graders. And how many do you think would be utilized? How many do now? Okay, well, so the parking lot has how many spaces?
Currently.
I mean, the new parking lot will have 20,
No,
30.
correct.
In the parking lot, I'm not talking about
Oh,
the alley.
17 in the parking lot, 13
Thank
along
you.
the alley.
So the ones that are in the parking lot, are they restricted to just the staff or do the students get to park there as well?
We discussed that as an option also with the neighbors and the aldermen of potentially doing that. We haven't made a final decision on it. We thought.
Is it enough though for all of
It is,
that?
and we're comfortable with that. The idea was because we want to avoid students congregating in the alley, creating any new issue would be to put the student parking in the side lot. As opposed, and maybe have more staff parking, so there's less in and out
On the alley.
activity along the alley. That seemed to make the most sense. We haven't, again,
But
that's
those,
one thought.
but those spaces are adequate for the staff and any students that drive. I'm just trying to
Yeah.
get the patterns.
It
My,
covers.
okay,
yes.
so my next question is, the buses, when they come and go, where do they stage? Because they're gonna come and wait in the afternoon, students, and then in the morning, they'll be dropping off. Where, is that on Kimball?
One bus right now.
Okay.
It's on Kimball. It's on Kimball at the main entrance.
Okay,
Or the corner of Kimball and Iron.
got it. And is that restricted now so that there's no parking there during those hours? I mean, do they,
There's a loading zone.
okay. And
Excuse me, could
I'm
you
sorry.
take your papers off my microphone?
I'm so,
Make
I'm
sure the
so
red
sorry.
light's on.
it's the red lights on.
Thank you,
Yes.
sorry.
thank you.
And when the parents come currently, where do they wait, where do they drop off the students? And then where do they wait to pick them up? Because I'm sure they come early. So those two questions.
I think they pick, I never observed exactly where they come. They come along Kimball,
Mhm.
and there's a main entrance on the corner of Kimball. And then there's another entrance, like, Kimball, right in the middle of the space.
Yeah.
Where, you know, where there's a big open to the parking lot. It's one of those two, but they park along, they stop along Kimball.
Okay, and that's
The
adequate.
kids come out of school and they go into the cars. It's
So-
adequate.
Yeah.
So it sounds like from what the interested parties are saying is that there's often a backup in the alley itself. And now with this new proposed, since the current layout, there's technically no alley activation for any school use. That will change with these 13 parking spots and then the entrance and exit to the parking lot. Is there a plan of communication and enforcement from the school's perspective to ensure that that alley remains clear? Other than for, you know, accessing those parking spots and the parking lot, to ensure that there's no backup along that alley for school use, since that is a new use of that alley that does not currently exist.
I think that the discussion about the alley and the kids being dropped off in the alley was mostly in the summer. We used to have a camp, the day camp, younger children, which we provided to somebody that ran a day camp. She had a couple hundred kids. And I think that's where they were dropping kids off in the alley. I've been to the school many times in the morning. I never seen anybody dropping anybody off. There's no reason to drop them off in the alley. The access right now from the alley it's not convenient. But when we had the camp there, the entrance for the camp was on Ardmore. Ardmore is one way going east. So then parents used to go through the alley, turn on Ardmore and drop the kids off in these little kids
And then they wait.
use the Ardmore entrance to the building.
Right, I don't think that the concern was necessarily that there was drop off happening in the alley, it was more so that there was backup of traffic
Right, that-
into the alley, and so I was wondering if there had been any.
They were, I don't
That
know,
would- I
they were kind of one and the same.
Yeah.
There was
Okay.
active drop-offs and pickups,
I see.
which is kind of causing a backup.
Okay,
Again, it's something that we've heard loud and clear. The other thing that I do want to point out with the site plan that's up right now, we did work with Alderman Nugent's office to dedicate pickup and drop-off spaces both on Ardmore and on Kimball. Again, to give people optionality.
is that
because
a new condition for this
along
particular
Kimball,
plan?
it would be, I believe the legal loading space or loading zone is along Ardmore. This is just a way for us to kind of clean things up. And right now, because the addition doesn't exist, the primary entrance is basically from the corner at Ardmore and Kimball. You can see the little walkway.
Yeah.
There's even an arrow that's functionally the primary entrance. Or now, if you look at the elevation page, you're now gonna have another door, a hallway right there. So again, is that the idea or the concept is to be able to disperse it a little bit better so that you don't have the funneling of bodies to get in and out of the building.
So back to my questions,
Yes.
because it was kind of related to that, but different. I understood exactly what you were describing in terms of the problem with the summer, because I understand, that's exactly the problem I was trying to get at and see if it existed, or if this was going to create a new version of that. And that's why I was asking the questions about how many students are going to be dropped off and where they're gonna drop them off, and if there was enough room for the buses. So I guess my next question is given what you know about the volume of pickups and drop-offs, and there, obviously it's high school students, so it's quick, not like elementary school students where you have to wait till someone comes and gets them and brings them inside. Is there adequate space on Kimball once you filter in or take consideration of the need for one bus and maybe two, year one expanded, so let's assume two. Would there then be enough space still for parents to make the drop-offs on Kimball without backing up onto they can't,
The short answer.
without trying to go through because they still might try and go through the alley to get to Ardmore, and that would still then be a potential backup. So that's what I want to understand.
And the buses, again, would be able to use, right now it's one bus, but if we were able to expand it to two buses, they would also be able to use the loading zones. on either
Or
option.
is there
So,
space on?
There is, because right now we're showing six, I have my numbers right here, a 6 car length loading zone on Kimball and a 4 car length loading zone on Ardmore.
And how would they access the ones on Ardmore? Because they're.
So it's
going
the
out.
folks that live to the north that would be
Will
coming
come
south
there.
to the property, because that is, as Rabbi said, that is a one-way.
Okay.
installation.
So that leaves
One way
two
going.
potential alley issues. So let
Wait,
me,
wait, wait, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry,
Both were talking.
sorry.
Okay.
So I perceive that there are two potential alley issues. So one is parents that are trying to avoid coming from another direction and trying to get onto the one-way street through the alley. So in that case, is it possible during the peak? Well, I guess there are two questions. Is it possible during that time, during the peak drop-off or pickup times, to have somebody, a security person from the building be assigned either at a camera to watch and then someone else out there, or just to be out there to make sure that the parents, no one enters the alley if there's a backup? I think that's really critical.
Short answer again is yes.
And how is that assured?
And so what we've done is we've actually had a staff from the school, whether it's a teacher, security personnel, someone, and more than just one person on the busy times outside, helping to manage the traffic. If there is a backup or an issue, you have somebody from the school saying, you gotta move, you gotta go. You can't stand here for, 10 minutes. You drop off and go.
So let me ask, Rabbi, is there somebody who watches the cameras, and is there a camera on the alley that you
Yes,
could see if this was the
Cameras
case?
all around, and they're not with the office, it's still someone with the camera.
So if there's a backup, you are in a position to be able to have somebody go out there and move people along?
Quite sure that besides the summer issue, I'm at the school a lot, because people are not dropping their kids off in the alley, it's very inconvenient actually.
No, the issue isn't dropping off in the alley. The issue is that when they go through the alley and then turn left onto Ardmore, that if there's any, there may be a backup on the alley waiting for the cars to move as they're either picked up or dropped off.
No, but there's no, to get, the truth of the matter is to get to the alley, you would have to go down, it's a one-way street, you have to go down the
Exactly.
side or the other street, which is one way, the wrong way.
Right, but
You have
that's
to go
why,
to another block, you can't go down, we're not as one way going north. It's inconvenient, but nobody goes to the alley.
no, let me ask you, if you're in Kimball and you turn right onto whatever that street is on the other side, it's what?
Thorndale.
Hornell?
Thorndale.
Thorndale. If you turn right on Thorndale,
Right on, that was one way going east.
then, no, if you're going, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
yeah, you have to turn left onto Thorndale if you're going, no.
If you're on Kimball and you're going,
Want to get to the alley.
I'm not sure of my east and west here, so that's the problem. If you're,
This is up as north here.
if you're, okay, so there's Kimball. So I'm going, in,
You're coming.
I'm
down
looking for
Kimball,
where it's going to,
You're going south on Kimball,
yeah,
but that's where almost everybody comes from, north of this address, most people
Okay.
are north there, they're coming south on Kimball. You can't make a left into, a right, I'm sorry, into Thorndale, but one way going east.
No.
yeah.
Thorndale goes west.
Oh, Thorndale goes
Thorndale's
west, north, Ardmore goes east, yes. Kimball is two-way.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, so the space is, what street is the bus space on?
Both, so we have dedicated
Oh, sorry.
on Ardmore and on Kimball.
So Kimball.
And it's not just a dedicated bus space, it is loading zone, again, a 6-car loading zone along Kimball and a 4-car loading zone along Ardmore. And those are shown in the bubbles on the left and bottom
This is.
of the set.
Okay, so that's Kimball,
Yeah,
and to the left is north and to the right is south,
no,
the other way around.
other way
That's why I was
around.
getting confused.
Right is north, left is south,
Okay,
down is east.
okay, and
Up.
Ardmore is
Ardmore,
south.
yeah, it goes down, which is east.
Oh, east, right? Okay.
That's in my head.
Um, all right,
Can I just clarify?
yes,
So Ardmore is, it's a one-way street going east, Thorndale, which is an on this map, is north. And is a one-way street going west.
okay,
The next street to the west is Bernard, which goes north, so if people are going north on Kimball or coming from east of Kimball, they often go west on Thorndale, and instead of having to go 2 blocks out of the way, they cut through the alley.
right, and
to
that's
get
what
by.
that's what I was trying to get at. So if they do that and they want to cut through the alley and then there's a backup at Ardmore, that's the potential issue I'm talking about, and that's what I'm asking about. If there is a way for you to incorporate into your procedures, keeping track of what's happening at that corner between the alley and Ardmore, so that you can move people along. But I think that there has to really be, since it's not close, in other words, the street, Thorndale isn't right here, there's other houses there, so you can't necessarily be going out there and telling people at Thorndale, you can't go down the alley, but I think maybe you really need to have a rule and some consequence if parents are constantly using the alley, if it becomes a problem with parents consistently using the alley and getting caught up, even if it's just for that short period of time. Obviously, it's not an issue if somebody goes through the alley and they can get to the other end occasionally. But I think it's the backup that's problematic, and I say this from experience because I had a similar situation where it was a street, not an alley. But people were getting blocked up on it all the time. Now, granted, it was an elementary school, so a private elementary school, but the parking issues, when we used the parking lot, we went through all sorts of changes to try and correct it. But in the end, it really came down to the administration figuring out different ways and making requirements of the parents if they were, and with consequence to
I'm sure
their
we can.
situation.
I think we can, and we can direct them not to go to the alley.
Could you speak up, please? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sure we can. I'm sure we have, it's a small group, but
Yeah,
we can make rules and tell them where they're allowed to drop off and where they cannot drop off. We have control over the buses and we can tell them that they
Yeah.
can't go through the alley. And I think it's something which can be relatively easily controlled.
so the other question I have is, it seems to me that the other issue with regards to the alley is, has there been any, do you have any expectation, or did anyone do a study about the impact or the ingress or regress of the spots in the side parking lot? If they're mostly staff, I'm guessing that there'll be a shorter window for when they leave, or more staggered, because they'll be doing different things in the school, some will be working overtime, but if it's students, it's probably gonna be more concentrated. So has there been any kind of evaluation of whether or not it would be, whether it would be better to cut that off and just have the other entrance and exit? I mean,
No, so we looked at it from an architectural standpoint, from a design standpoint, there was no third-party assessment. What we wanted to avoid is what I mentioned earlier. If we were to separate the alley parking from the parking lot that's on the side of the property, which would be the north side of the property. What we wanted to avoid was a situation where those 17 cars are essentially boxed in together. We wanted to be able to disperse and have the option of driving out into the alley to access either Ardmore or Thorndale, or again, it's not a congested time, pull right out onto Kimball. From a functionality and from a design perspective, that seemed to be the most fluid option. And again, it addresses the concern of kind of boxing in that lot when it does have, the lot property does have alley access.
So this is separate from Helen's question, but the question I have is that, has there been any consideration about, I understand the boxing in of those spots. Has there been any consideration about, because the entrance and exit to that parking lot is somewhat mid-block, right? Thorndale is further north. Is there any concern about improper use of that parking now to access the alley? If there is.
For people who are not
Right,
related.
so now, effectively, you're creating
So
an
there-
ingress.
So one of the things I wanted, and I think we.
No, I mean, I just mean for the school use
So
itself.
we could even fence it during school so that
Okay.
people aren't accessing it.
Got it.
So that there's a control in place. As the rabbi said, there is 24-hour
Oh, that's how you,
surveillance and
that's how you
monitoring.
maintain.
So one of the other thoughts is to avoid the cut through.
Yeah,
Like the
Right,
corner cut
mid-block
through.
cut through,
I
right?
don't know how many people would want to cut through to go one way, but if it were to happen, I think we can control that again procedurally by having that fence at the rear closed during school hours. As long as it doesn't present a safety concern
Right.
or safety issue, that's a very easy fix to
Okay.
address that.
And
But
then,
we don't also, again, I don't know if we anticipate, but through given the limitations of the one ways on all the sides. If
Okay.
They happen, you're absolutely right. I just know how regular that would be.
fair, and so your response is in response to off hours, right? Where-
Correct.
Right, so I guess my additional question is that during drop off and pickup, if that could then be leveraged and create potentially a safety concern for students if they're parking in sort of that 17-car lot. If would there be any consideration of turning without boxing in that space, but turning that into a one-way where there's only entry allowed from Kimball and exit allowed on the alley, or alternatively?
Frankly, it hasn't been suggested yet by CDOT. It's definitely something we could look at as using the alley as an exit only. The alley access from the north side parking lot would be an exit only. It's certainly something we can explore again. It hasn't been
Fair.
flushed out with CDOT, whether it's
Right.
compliant, whether there's a safety concern. I think in the interim, there's a little bit of an assurance that some of it can be controlled just on operations, having the fence closed, which again, it's closed during non-business hours today
Uh-huh.
for the larger site. So it's something we can do that. That's an
Okay,
easy-
again,
easy
you're
fix.
sort of right, that it's an operational decision, right?
But it's definitely something we can explore. Like I
Okay.
said, that's something, I think we have a little bit of a luxury here because the students, it's private school. We can establish and set rules, the students have to live with them.
As
To
the
the
parents
chairman's point,
do.
if there's a problem, there's a penalty or, consequence of some sort. So that messaging is something we can control and handle it without, without concern. That's part of operating a school.
And I think it's just, my whole point is that just in the interest of, the objectors. If there's active operational management of that, if I might suggest that there's good communication that happens as a result of those concerns as they, we're not trying to tell you how to change any plans or anything like that, but if that happens.
Absolutely.
I do have, were you gonna respond to the?
I was gonna
parking?
say that, if there was any kind of problem with the access to the alley, we would just close it because there's no overriding need to have that access to the alley. We don't have it now. There's a bigger
Well,
problem.
that-
house. They're
Right,
not
that's-
boxed in, they're going out, there's a big entrance and exit there. And I don't think anybody would choose to go to the alley rather than go to the Kimball. No reason for it, and usually in case that would cause a problem, we just close it. There's no compelling reason to have it.
And I think that was just what the suggestion was, right? Is that if it does become a problem, that there would be more active management of it, which I think.
That would be easier than my suggestion.
easier.
I do have one other thing. Can the garbage issue be addressed right now? The existing garbage issue, I think it would go a long way to appeasing the neighbors.
I at one time was more involved. There was complaints about the garbage. I myself told the Alderman's office, the Alderman sent people out there and the city sent people out there. We spoke to the garbage people and it just did not seem to be this kind of a problem. I don't know where this, I really not that involved in we certainly are not looking to have rodents around the school, we're not looking to have rodents in the alleys, and we're very much. If there's an issue with the garbage, we'll take care of it. I don't know, I understand what people are saying, that they talk to people in school. When we had that meeting with all the, you know, where all the neighbors came, we asked, who did you speak to, when did you come? And nobody had the answers, right? I mean, we have very responsible people in the school. We have 2 principals who live in the neighborhood who are very responsible. I don't think it was addressed. I don't know. Without looking into it more, I can't tell you at this moment. I do know that there was a one point where they said that the garbage, the bins were not closed. We tried to fix the problem. I don't know. I'm gonna look into it after this meeting more, but we are right now, we are gonna get a compactor. The compactors are such that
Yeah.
really it reduces the amount of pickups that you'll need. Will be very effective. They just built a brand new elementary school, every town elementary school, and Skokie will. They just built a brand new elementary school. In Skokie, where they have 1,000 kids. We spoke to them. They said the compactor is
Yeah.
very, very effective, works very well. And we're gonna put one in, you know, it's actually a lot cheaper for us to operate with a compactor than it is to have 3 pickups a week. Makes
So
everything easier.
what's the timeline on the compactor?
Part of the project.
As
Part of the construction project, whenever it's able to be put in, we'll put it in.
So I've actually had lots of experience with garbage. So let me make a suggestion, because everybody can say somebody else is responsible, in my experience, from every city agency to every commercial or educational entity to every individual person. If your custodian staff can just check it in the morning and then in the afternoon and just make sure right around it is clean and stuff is thrown back in there, they'll also then know if the problem is that someone's been opening up, going through the alleys or whatever. Or maybe something else is happening that's related to the school, but then you can always put a lock on it or add to your pickup, but then you'll know exactly what it is. So I would just suggest you take it on yourselves and not worry about the finger pointing, because you'll never get an answer.
And I will commend the plan for taking into account the concerns about the trash
Yeah.
and improving the enclosure and the downlighting on the parking lot. I think
Yeah, that's huge.
that is so responsive to community, and I think that's commendable. And now that there was an individual that was identified as sort of like the school community liaison, I would just ask that, you know, there's that information is exchanged to ensure that the immediately adjacent property owners are able to have access to that information. But I think other than the, there's additional responses from objectors, I don't think they have additional questions.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to respond to a couple of things that you said, and I will point out that, the rabbi said about 10% of the population, is walking past his house on break. I want you all to understand that the majority of the students are not coming from our nearby neighborhood. Okay, just so most of the students are being driven to school. Just so everybody's clear on that. And I don't have a problem with fencing. I just want to know where it's going to be and what it's going to look like. I fully support 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade girls having security around school. Absolutely. So my problem wasn't with, there's going to be a fence. I want to know what it's going to look like and where it's going to be. Thank you. You mentioned the schools that are in the area, you know, along Mozart, Bryn Mawr, Solomon Elementary. I don't know if it's relevant. Were any of those schools expanded in those residential neighborhoods over the past 25 or 30 years? Because as I said, I've lived in this house 33 years, and this dramatically impacts my life. And well, you answered. You got the other question answered for me.
Yeah, just one note about the Ardmore traffic. The city recently installed bump out curbs or whatever, so where you used to be able to drive on Ardmore, and if someone was waiting to go straight across Kimball and you were gonna turn right, you could do that. Now you can't do that, so I anticipate
So you can't get
backup
around the
on
car?
Ardmore to be worse. Now that those bump outs, there's only like one lane that can go through the intersection.
And this is going
East
towards Timble from the alley.
Right
at-
right at Ardmore, yep. So I think an active management is gonna be critical. Regarding the trash.
Wait, one thing. So I think that what that really would indicate is since there's that bump out, that it would be really important that anyone dropping off their students at that location, that they make sure they're on the curb side of the bump out so that the cars can come around. And that is something your staff can actually do. I'm
And
sorry.
regarding the trash, it is a everyday problem. The only time the lids are closed is immediately after trash pickup, and maybe within a couple hours, the bins are overflowing, they're never closed.
And my
And,
neighbor and I.
and the poor
Yeah.
custodian is up in a bin trying to stomp down the garbage, but it's just way too much garbage. It doesn't get picked up enough. So if you want us to contact Rabbi Kardashian, is that how you say his name?
Yes,
Rabbi
Carr.
That every day we will. Like, hey, the garbage bins are overflowing. It's a daily
Yeah.
occurrence.
So it truly may be that until you get the compressor, you might have to add a day.
I said,
Yeah.
I'll look into it myself.
Yeah.
Very definitely, and we
That would be
make sure
great.
that the current. We're not interested in overflowing garbage
course
either,
not.
right?
I know you're
Students don't treat it when the house is not school, right? Not the children's school, so.
You don't need rats.
I want to thank everybody for being so thoughtful on this
Yes.
as well. Then this is
Yeah.
how this should work. And so we really appreciate the responsiveness from the applicant to some of the concerns that have been addressed prior to this hearing. And thank you for the residents for joining and sharing your thoughts as well. I'd ask that I would just ask that we deliberate rather than make a motion to
Okay.
immediately.
I just want to say
Okay.
one thing about the lights. We did not design those lights. Those lights were designed by Homeland Security. Homeland Security told us to put in lights. They actually paid for the lights. But they specified exactly what kind of lights and where they go and, everything. And that was really put in by Homeland Security. So the fact that it's disturbing the neighbors, I mean, I think there's ways to downlight and
You
do
can put,
that, right?
you can put shields on their side.
It was nothing that was designed by the school. This is what Homeland Security prescribed.
I understand. They do have big shields that can go, so the side, their side of the alley can be covered. And it would still give you the spray
Yeah,
you need for
okay,
your
that's-
security. I just wanted to thank you for your expressing your concerns here in your testimony. I did when I was asking the questions about where the students were coming and how they were coming, I think it was pretty clear that there were a relatively smaller number, a smaller percentage of students who actually walk to the school, and that there's sort of a ring that continues to go out of where students come from. I appreciate your clarifying your perception on that, but I also think it was as well clear in the testimony, but thank you. Okay, so we are going to take the matter under advisement and during our closed session, and we'll be coming back before we adjourn for the morning, and I think there's not much left before we get there.
No, I didn't.
I think this might be it. There's one more. No? What about, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, it's true, yeah, sorry. Looking at the next agenda. Okay, well, in that case, I will make a motion to go into, to recess for, not adjourn.
Nope.
No.
Go into closed session.
No, I'm sorry,
Yeah, you're right.
I make a motion that we go into closed session. Pardon? Okay, well, we're gonna, yeah, Commissioner Soto seconds, Commissioner Gianni.
Yes, hi.
Commissioner Hobbs, Commissioner Fairley. Commissioner
you.
Stevens,
Yes.
Commissioner.
Yes.
And I vote yes, we are in closed session. Whew. This is the only one, right? This is. Works, thank you.
You might have to go around back because they might have something else.
But how often, how often is it?
Okay, all right, so I can bring it down. Sorry.
Basically,
We are almost.
The timing ones.
Did I think of it?
Yeah. We're done.
I don't want to spend more time.
That was not the one I thought we spent a lot of time on, but.
Or this way or that way?
Wants to go that?
Which way, Victor?
you can go out in the hallway, I just gotta go to the back home.
Yourself?
Right, this way. Here.
Situated. It's the one way.
I know, I know.
Yeah, that's not, that's, yeah, here's the last case, but there's not much to say. Other cases I can. So there's only gonna be 4 cases. No, she got that. Please put those up and.
That's right, yeah, I'll think about it.
Yeah. So, I know.
And Nick, we have a question for you. Have you hold? So.
I'm the question.
We're just moving along.
I know. I'm not gonna retire. I think I learned. Washington. A lot longer. I think when I first was down to Joe. 3.5 years, 4 years. In the film, like, you know, we put on hair salons. And you know, they're really based on for a while. Because to find it all. But I just felt like I did it. Something. Yes. Yes.
Sir.
Oh, you guys left. Should have made this quicker, you know? Keep it going. Okay.
One.
Go.
I don't know.
I love when that's something. Sorry and apologize.
It's okay, yeah.
We cut temporary 45 cents. It's like, oh, that seems fine. That's great.
I'll be
Right.
Are we all here? Don't remember what I'm supposed to do next.
Sorry.
All right. Are we ready?
Although
Oh, good point. Do I have to read into record the, I can't remember, the numbers for the withdrawals and the, continuances? Or can I just say,
Just say,
as,
as they were stated this morning, they're all
Yeah.
continue to withdraw to the dates given.
okay,
Did you vote for the open session? No.
Yeah, you have to go to
Not yet.
the open session.
We're some.
are we ready? Okay, all right, so I move to return to open session. Alderman Soto, I mean, can. I avoided that for the entire day.
You almost made it out.
24 years, give me a break. Commissioner Soto seconds, Commissioner Gianni. Commissioner Gianni.
yes.
Commissioner Hobbs.
Yes.
Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
Yes, I agree. I vote yes. We're now back in open session. I move to approve all matters not already approved in open I move to approve 418-25-Z, 419-25-Z, 420-25-Z. Commissioner Soto seconds, Commissioner Gianni.
Yes.
Commissioner Boggs.
Yes.
What did I say? Oh, well, Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Did you say yes?
Yes.
Yeah, can I interrupt? I vote yes.
Yes.
I also vote yes.
Right, sorry. And I vote yes, the motion, the matters, are approved. Okay. I move to approve all the withdrawals and continuance requests to the dates previously stated by me, the chair, earlier, and Commissioner Soto seconds, Commissioner Gianni.
Yes.
Commissioner Hobbs.
Yes.
Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
I vote yes, these matters are approved. I move to recess until the 2 p.m. call. Commissioner Soto seconds. Commissioner Gianni.
Yes.
Commissioner Hobbs.
Yes.
Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
I vote yes, we're in recess until 2. Okay.